Today, we're going to talk about how to build strong client relationships from day one. Right, we're in our a little season here of mastering client communication and expectation management. And I think this one is extremely valuable. It's really quick. It'll be valuable. So what's in it for you today? First of all, if you want to eliminate miscommunication, this is the stage. If you want to eliminate missed deadlines, this is the place. If you want to eliminate misunderstood expectations, you're in the right place. And of course, if you want to create smoother interactions and stronger client relationships that create happy, loyal, and long-term partnerships, then this lesson is going to be really valuable for you. But Sean, I don't want to set rules. I don't want to set expectations. I don't want to do this because I feel like my clients would just run away if there's too many rules. And in reality, right, it actually creates professionalism because you're at this place where you say, hey, these are kind of the ground rules. We're going to stick to these. Everyone can agree, and it gives somebody that professionalism. It gives them trust that you know what you're doing and you've done it before. And of course, it provides them some easy guidelines, right? Which is you never want if you don't do this, if you don't do what I'm about to share with you today, a lot of your clients are going to be like, man, I'm sitting in this cone of uncertainty. I don't know if Sean's going to hit me up, or I don't know when our next meeting is. I don't know what to expect, the outcomes, or anything else like this. And so this is, most people think, oh, I don't want to have to set rules and guidelines with clients because it's going to scare them away, when in actuality, it's going to serve you at a much higher level if you do. And then where most miss it is myth number 2 is like, a lot of people tell me, because I ask about this topic all the time, I say, what are the expectations you set with your clients? What are the expectations you set with your prospects and DMs? What are you doing? Oh, well, communication doesn't need to be that formal. We'll just figure it out as we go, right? And while this works, shooting from the hip can work, especially if you've had years of practice. But if you haven't had those years of practice and those reps, yeah, watch out, right? And doing this actually saves time, right? When you say, hey, today's call is going to be about this, this, and this. This is my agenda. We have about 30 minutes remaining for the call. Is that what you had on your agenda too? And they say yes. You say, you want to add anything? No, I'm good. Okay, great. Let's start. It now gives the client or the prospect or whoever you're talking to an actual pathway to where they know, hey, it's not going to waste my time, and I'm going to be here. It's going to give me energy to be focused on the thing that we're talking about, and it's going to help me create or foster a relationship of professionalism where you can grow, right? Setting clear expectations is not about being rigid. It's about being reliable, because if you can be reliable and you can always share, like, here's where we're going today, it's like giving somebody a treasure map. Like, here's the X, this is where we want to get to. We're going to go through this whole journey to get there. And that's the secret, right? So here's I've never told this story before. Actually pretty excited to tell it. Let me take a quick sip of water here. When I first started sales, I sucked really bad. If anyone's ever heard my story, I tell the part where I say, I got to a place where I was making 80 cold calls a day. I did it for 6 weeks straight. So I had a book of names of businesses, and I call them every single day. I never booked an appointment for 6 weeks. That was 2,400 attempts. All of them failed. 0 for 2,400 attempts, which is insane to even think about, right? And it hurt. But then as my journey progressed, when I first went into sales, I thought to myself, like, look, I learned hard work ethic from my dad. I watched him building a business from scratch, working 100 hours a week. I was pushing a little broom in the shop floor to learn like business and entrepreneurship. That's where I was instilled with hard work. And everyone told me after I came out of college, Sean, you have the gift of gab. You should go into sales. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, people are saying I should go do this thing. And then my dad always told me, like, as long as you have a good attitude, you can make it through. And I was like, oh, well, those 3 things for me, like, I'm going to go win. Like, this is what it's about. And so I walked into this sales job and I learned the hard way. As I mentioned, I sucked at sales calls. I sucked at setting appointments. I sucked at all of this stuff. And what happened was I learned all of actually how to do it. I started setting appointments, and then I started setting sales conversations, and I started getting deals. And that was the process. I went boom, boom, boom. And then I started getting into these bigger opportunities. And I remember clients like HEI Medical, Raytheon, Boeing, TRW Lucas, L3 Communications. Like these were the clients that I was selling to. And I had gone into these sales calls just with those three things: hard work, good attitude, and being able to just like stay there and actually do the work, right? And I had lined up about 5 big opportunities for me. And of course, I'm living on commission. That was the only thing I was living on. And I thought to myself, look, I have 5 in the pipeline. As long as one of these 5 close, I'm going to be fine. And so I'd go back, I'd have the sales conversation with the prospect. I'd go back to my office and my boss, Tim, he'd be like, what's going on? How's it going? And I'd be like, oh yeah, we got this one. I'm going to nail it. Like, it's cool. Okay, cool. When are they going to buy? I'm not sure, but we just said that we just figure it out as we go, because I didn't set expectations. And then he's like, and the next one, and I come back, oh, okay, I got this one too. They said they're going to move forward. They told me, and then no expectations. And this happened again and again and again for 5. And then the worst thing could have happened to me. The first deal, I called them, they ghosted. I was like, shoot, that one's out. Just moved it off. Second one, I got them on the phone. Yeah, we made a change of plan. But what you said you were gonna? I know I said that, Sean, but sorry, bro. We're out. Hang up. Lost the second one. Now I'm starting to stress. Now I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, there's 3 left. Like, as long as one of these big deals comes through, I'm gonna be good. Third one, bomb. Fourth one, gone. And I was like, on this last one, I was like, oh my God, like this one needs to go through. Unfortunately, it didn't. And then I got shingles. Yikes. How do you get shingles, Sean? What the hell are you talking about? That's crazy, right? I had shingles that started on the back of my neck, and it was so bad, it started creeping into my face. And they say if you get shingles in your eye, you die. So I'm panicked as shit, and I didn't even know how I got shingles. And it became because it caused this, right? It caused me to worry every single night. Oh, is this deal going to close? Is this deal going to close? It caused me to doubt whether or not am I good? Are they going to buy? Like, what's going to happen? Right? I was getting confused. They told me this thing, and then this other thing happened. Like, what's happening? Then I started getting mad. I was like, what the hell? Like, they said they were going to do it, but they didn't. And then I got really frustrated. And when you put all 5 of those emotions together, it equals stress. Stress is the #1 cause of shingles, right? I got shingles because of stress. I got shingles because I didn't take the time to set extremely clear expectations, whether it be in a prospecting conversation with DMs, whether it be on a sales conversation, or wherever the hell it was, right? I got shingles, and shingles can kill you. But that's when I learned this. The #1 rule of any sales part of anything, whether it's prospecting, sales calls, anything else, never, ever assume. You know, they have the saying, like, when you assume makes an ass out of you and me. True statement, right? I was the one that was being the ass the whole time. But I learned this, right? And then I also learned the second part is like, never assume when you can ask. And you can always ask. Nobody gets mad when you ask the right questions. And so after I started assuming, or after I stopped assuming, I actually won. I started closing more deals, right? I'm going to share this formula that I used, real simple, but I closed more deals, so many more, 36% more. Imagine that. That's insane, right? I created clear expectations for me and every one of my prospects, any one of my people that I'm talking to in Messenger, any of that stuff. I was able to ask better questions to disqualify people early, so I didn't get my hopes up, right? And then I finally was able to get sleep at night because I knew and I could share with other people in my organization exactly where my prospects were in their journey, in their path, when they were going to do the next thing, because we had this easy agreement. And I think most people miss this part of getting assumption out of the equation. So here's how we do it. We define it, we share it, and then we do regular check-ins. Here's what it looks like. You want to define expectations. Well, what are the things you need to define? Right? So let's say you're in a sales conversation on the phone. I'll just put you there in that place for today, right now, for this part of the chat. The first thing, if you get to the end, you want to talk about response time. Response time means, hey, I'm going to do all the work that you said. I'm going to send you a demo. I'm going to write you an email. I'm going to do all this other stuff. We agree that this is a pretty good fit. After I do all that, so I say this before I've done any work. I say, after I've done all that for you, how long is it going to take you to respond back to me? and they say usually, oh, well, I'm busy tomorrow. I'm going to meet with my team on Friday. I'm like, oh, how about Monday? Like, if I don't hear from you on Monday, would it be cool if I hit you on Tuesday? Everyone's like, oh, yeah, that'd be great. So what have I just done? I've now set a very clear expectation on the next time we're going to communicate. And I've eliminated any of this mystification. I've eliminated this idea that I have to go sit in the rock in my backyard and hope and pray that this person's going to actually respond to me, because we have a clear expectation of when I'm going to respond to them. And I say something like this: hey, is email the best for you? Or you prefer Voxer? How about chat? Do you like Facebook? Like, where's the thing? Oh, no, the best place to get me is text. Great, shoot me your number. Now I know the next time I'm going to speak with them, I'm going to hear from them on Monday. I'm going to send them a text on Tuesday, because now we know where we're going to communicate, right? And then in certain other examples, maybe you have like an ongoing frequency of meeting times or something like that, right? That's also important. And then suggested timelines. If you're doing a project for somebody, like a lot of people ask me, Sean, I want the done for you stuff that you do. How long is it going to take? Like, is this going to be one of those 30, 40, 50-day setups? No, actually, our team has a process to get it done in 5 days. If it's not done in 5 days, I need you to do this to me, right? I need you to hit me up with a text or a message or whatever. Oh, Shane, thank you. Now this prospect has full clarity of what's supposed to happen. It also holds you a little bit accountable, so you get shit done, right? And here's a bonus one. If you want to define expectations, this one is awesome. Say, hey, I want you to have the bat line. I want you to have direct access back to me, because I'm the one that makes the decisions. So the bat line is, shoot me a text. Here's my number. If anything goes wrong, I want to hear from you. Because if I don't hear from you, if I don't know, there's nothing I can do about it, right? So know that I always want to know, because otherwise I can't do anything about it. And they're like, oh, that's great. Thanks, Sean. And then they feel like they have access to me, which they do. And then I'll determine whether or not it's a good thing to respond to or not, right? So those are the things that I think most people miss in like a sales conversation. You can also add a lot of this stuff into messaging, which is great. Hey, I just set up this appointment with you next week. Thank you for letting me know. That's amazing. On our call, we're going to do this, this, and this. And we'll take about 30 minutes. Does that sound okay? And then in the chat, they're like, yeah, that's perfect. And they already know what is going to happen when they get on that call. And then you get on the call and then you do this. You say, hey, I sent this in Messenger, but we're just going to cover these 3 things. Is that cool? And they say, oh, yeah, Sean, that's great. Right? Works every time. So we want to define expectations. Number 2, what do we do to document and share it, right? I don't know if anyone's ever played disc golf. I love disc golf. It's one of my hobbies. I love it to death. Disc golf is a place that has rules. Like regular golf or any other sport, they all have rules. And the rules are always stated and put somewhere. So when you go to a disc golf course, typically they have a map. And then the map shows you the course layout. It shows you usually out of bounds and length and time and all that. And they also have this little document that has all the rules, right? Here's the guidelines of how to play disc golf. The same thing has to happen in your sales conversations. You have to have rules of the game. You have to have rules and expectations and guidelines of what to follow after the call, before the call, when you're doing work together. And you have to visually put this somewhere, right? So a lot of the time, what I'll do is I'll write this in my follow-up emails, or I'll put it in Messenger. Hey, we talked about this. We agreed this solves a problem. These are the ways we're going to communicate. You like email. And this is the thing that we're going to agree to do. And then it's just based on email. That's where I put my maps. So every time I either chat with somebody in DMs or I have an email conversation with somebody, I'm always sending a follow-up system that has the guidelines. So this is how I document and share these things with other people, because then if they forget what I said on the call, they don't have time to watch a call, they can go read a quick email, and I just do it with bullet points because it's so easy, right? When you write an email, there's 3 things you need to talk about or think about. The number 1 is your headline. Get your headline right. That's 80% of people read that more than anything else. I'm sure you've heard that stat. The second thing most read is the PS line. Make your PS line extremely powerful. And the third thing people will read in an email are bullet points. So I make the guidelines, the things of like, here's how we're going to communicate. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're trying to solve in bullet points. So people can read my emails really quickly, even if they scan them, and they'll know the guidelines. Very important. And then lastly is just regular check-ins, right? So regular check-ins are, when are we meeting again? Where are we going to meet? Is it going to be on Zoom? Am I coming to your office? Who are we meeting with? Do we need anyone else involved? How is it going to go down? What does all this mean, right? And the bonus thing I want to share with you here is this. This is how we do it. The cadence is once you become a member of FlowChat, we have group sessions twice a week. You guys are here, right? Group sessions is the cadence. This is the place where I will open up your stuff. We'll go through your messaging. We'll talk about strategy. We'll do all that stuff. And I'm helping you to stay on task and hold you accountable to getting the results that you want to get in your business that we probably talked about before this thing even started. And the bonus here is this. When you do group sessions, you create community, because community is what people stick to. They'll buy your product for one reason, to solve a problem, but they will stay with you forever because they want to be part of the bigger collective. They want to be part of something. Everybody wants to belong. And so if you can build your cadence into a group setting, you're going to win faster than you would if you did it one-on-one. And you're going to save a bunch of time. So the regular check-ins for us, the cadence that we use, and again, apply this to your business however it fits, group sessions. Easy, right? That's how you do it. Really simple, not hard. Just make sure to define the expectations. Your number one challenge is you having the balls to actually, or not the balls, is you having the muster, the will to actually do the thing. Excuse me, there's ladies in the room. But yeah. Nice. Thank you. So you have to hold yourself accountable to actually setting the rules of, I call them the rules of the game, right? So it's like, make sure that you have the rules of the game in place and you'll be set. And so again, achieving all the things we talked about today very simply can be done by applying these 3 steps. It's very easy, very fast. And here's your mission of the week. Number 1, just take a minute, take 10 minutes, define where and when you should be setting expectations. Should you be setting them right before your first sales call? Should you be setting them during the sales call? Should you be setting them after they become a client? Those are 3 great places of where and when they should be set. Secondly, decide how you're going to do it. Is it going to be written in email like I do it? Is it going to be, here's a Google Doc with all of the rules or whatever, right? And then lastly, just do it. Be accountable to doing it, because if you are, you'll win. And that's all I got for you today. So go FlowChat.